All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another multi-view review. These multi-view reviews are going to be a little bit different from the way they were run before, in that it's a lot more informal. It's going to be me sitting here watching the multi-view, and you guys are going to be watching it with me. This is my first time going through and watching it. That way, we can all learn together, and it's a much more raw and first impressions kind of thing on things I think we can improve on, things I think we do well, and I guess we can just go through this kind of together. I picked out one song here from Sunday night, I believe this multi-view is, yeah. And we're going to go ahead and dissect it. I just skipped 9 minutes and 14 seconds in, found the end of the song and the start of the next song, and we're just going to go from here. So just to give you a little context, if you never looked at a multi-view before, what we're looking for is up here in program. Whatever's on the program feed is what is live to the audience and the internet. So that's on Facebook, YouTube, our website, our app, whenever that eventually releases. Over here, you can see our three cameras. We have camera 2, camera 3, and camera 4. Camera 2 being the back camera, camera 3 being the big boom on the left side of the sanctuary if you're looking at the platform, camera 4 being the handheld that is normally roaming up on the platform. And then down here we have lyrics, and then we have key and fill our lower third lyrics, and where I'm sitting is covering up baptism, but we're not going to need that. And camera 1 is probably going to become drum cam here soon. So the one thing I noticed here, it's only a couple seconds long, but whenever we switch to camera 2 here, the shot is a little bit kind of stuttery as he's moving over to Sister McKee. If we could adjust our tensions before service happens, whoever's on camera to adjust their tensions to make sure that that's very smooth if you're going to be doing something like that. Right here. Stutter, stutter, stutter. But we finally get over there, and then we switched off it anyways. This camera shot could probably use, it's just staying static right now. What we could do with this is to give it a little bit more, make it a little bit more immersive for those watching online. That's what I was trying to think of. You could have it panning maybe from left to the right, or right to left even, keeping Sister McKee centered up. That would make it a little bit more immersive for those watching online than just watching her stand there. Give it some kind of movement. We always want to stay moving. And here with camera 2, I'm not a particularly big fan of this shot, just because I happen to remember this from service, and we have Sister McKee standing here. I believe we switched off this pretty quickly, but we have Sister McKee standing here singing, but the rest of the praise team is not singing, so it's basically empty space. I mean, they're worshiping, which is good. They have their hands lifted, their eyes closed. Marcus is halfway turned for some reason. But so, I mean, it's not like they're not doing anything at all. But if Sister McKee's the only one singing, we don't want to capture all of them doing effectively nothing here on the platform. Yeah, we switched to camera 4, which is a much better shot for that. So we just switched it as I was about to say something. I was about to say, now the praise team is singing and doing something. And so it'd be really cool if we picked up everybody at the time that they came in, not later like we ended up doing, but it'd be nice. It would be really cool. I mean, it's not a necessity, but this is one of those things. It's a very small detail, but it increases the immersion by a lot. When someone's watching online, you switch as the rest of the praise team comes in, it would look a lot better. I'm not saying that this doesn't look good, but we just haven't captured any of the praise team. Camera 2 is still the only one with the praise team shot. It looks like he hasn't changed his shot at all. But it would have been kind of cool if either camera 3 had the whole praise team and was kind of coming in, or camera 2 was maybe zoomed out and was starting to come back in, or even zoomed in, starting to come back out as the praise team came in, and we could have switched to one of those cameras. I think that would have helped. And that goes into knowing the songs beforehand and knowing how the praise team is going to perform it. So we still have no praise team. now we have praise team, but we're zooming in on solely system or key, which I guess is fine. Okay, right here, we have both system or key and Marcus up front leading, but we zoom in on just system or key. I'd much rather prefer we zoom in on just the center of the pulpit during this, and we get both of them in the shot. You can see he zooms out to the middle right after that. Right here. And we finally get some praise team. That's good. A bunch of empty space here. Switch. There it is. That's good. So one thing I'm noticing is camera 3 doesn't seem to be giving us a whole lot of moving shots, which is camera 3's basically main purpose. That's the reason it's such a big boom, is to give you those moving angles and to give you those cool moving and dynamic shots. And so if we're not moving with camera 3, we're really not using it to its full potential. We're not utilizing it almost at all. At that point, it might as well be on a tripod. So if you're a camera 3 operator and maybe you need help, I'm always willing to help you. We have a couple other guys on the team who are really good at camera 3, probably a lot better than I am, that could help you. But we'd love to get you some more training if you need it, if you don't feel comfortable. If you do feel comfortable, just make sure you stay moving, you keep dynamic. That's the whole reason that camera's there, is it's meant to be dynamic. It's meant to give you those cool moving shots. It's meant to be amazing. And so while it still looks good, I think moving would help this shot a lot. I also really like this shot of the piano, but that's just personal preference. As long as they're doing something, that is. Now, this is the only thing. I know I'm being really picky here and pausing this like a lot, but it's these things I noticed. I know we're not going to fix it all with one multi-view review. We're not going to fix it all one at a time, but I just want to keep them all on your mind, so I'm going to point them out anyways. We have a lot of headspace here where the evidence is all around. We see the words on the screen here, and we have the lower third lyrics with the words on the bottom. That's just a lot of blank space on the screen. What I would much rather prefer we do is we have a fluid head tripod. It's actually a really nice tripod on camera 2. If our camera 2 operators take time to adjust their tension before service, and you pan down as you zoom in out, and so we're keeping our headspace low, and we're getting more of the crowd at the same time, I think that would help out a lot. I like the movement here. Although necessarily we don't need to get the praise team at this point. Camera 4 has a nice shot. this point, I think we should have switched to probably another camera. Got another camera to get in, maybe not as tight as camera 4 is right now, but maybe from a little bit above the waist up, right above the waist bone. Maybe camera 2 could have done that if camera 2 wanted to keep doing it, zoom in and outs, which I really like because it adds movement to that. Camera 3 could have done it for sure. So I think we should be able to switch up our shot at this point. We've been on this shot for a little bit long. Well, we switched to camera 3. It would be nice if it was maybe right here, or even cutting off his hand because he just raised that, I guess, right here. Gave us a little bit tighter shot. It's a good shot at Ian. Pan out to the rest of the praise team. We should have switched definitely before this hit the band. Zoom out's a little bit fast on 4, but we didn't take it, so it's not a problem. But we definitely should switch off camera 2 before we get this far out, to where we can see both projectors, the whole screen, and we're starting to see a lot of empty seats here in the audience. We should have switched off at this point. Probably camera 3 would be a good shot. Camera 4 looked like it was zooming out a little bit faster. I wasn't quite sure of his shot. Yeah. Yeah, it kind of looked like we didn't know what we were doing there, putting camera 4 on. To be honest, that might have been me directing. I made a mistake. I don't know who was directing this song, because we switched off a couple times this night. It was probably me. I like the bass shot. Getting a shot of Sister McKee would have been good too. To switch from bass to Sister McKee. Or we even did Sister McKee to bass. We could have gone back to Sister McKee while she stayed on that note. Because right now we have a whole lot of people not doing anything. There we go. Now we got Sister McKee. I think here I'm not a huge fan of this crowd shot. We have empty space here. We have empty space here. We can see Titus's back on the fly cam. I think a much better shot right here. I don't even know if we take this. I don't remember, but I think a much better shot here would have been to switch to camera 2 on the zoom back. And we did. Okay, good. And to be honest with you guys, entirely honest, I'm not a huge fan of the crowd shots from camera 4 either. I find them to be a little bit dark, and if it were me up there, I wouldn't want a camera shoved in my face. I think it's really awkward. So I'm not a huge fan of those ones either. Sister McKee's not quite in focus at the beginning of that. At this point, two things. First of all, I just mentioned it, but Sister McKee at the beginning of this shot on camera 4 wasn't quite in focus. Right here. So we can see no, literally nothing I don't think is in focus. Sister McKee's kind of blurry. All the background's pretty blurry. And then as well as this, it comes back to knowing the song again. We see Savannah here with 2 microphones. We could have picked up Savannah on one of the cameras, especially if we had been here for practice and sound check. We would have known that they were going to do that, and we would not have been caught off guard with that. So I think coming here during sound check to practice your camera and kind of get to learn the songs, even if you don't listen throughout the week, which you're supposed to be doing, but coming in during sound check as well would be really good. We wouldn't have been caught down there. So we end up not getting a shot of Savannah for a little bit, for a couple seconds. So we have Sister McKee not singing. Now, camera 4 picks up Savannah, but it's a little bit hard. As you can see, he's kind of struggling to get past Sister McKee and then focus up. And camera 3 here is kind of limited by Marcus. So. I think we should have some movement here on camera 2. Camera 2 can't do a whole lot, but zooming in and zooming out is enough for me, I think, just to create a little bit of movement with that camera, and don't break the flow. You know, all of our cameras are moving, preferably fast paced, because this is a faster paced song. Not like super fast, not like disorientingly fast, but you know, faster than normal. And then camera 2 here, we just switched to an absolutely still shot. It kind of breaks the rhythm. Headspace. Good movement. Paul's not doing a whole lot here, so I didn't switch to that one. I remember that specifically, so I think I was directing this. I like the guitar shot. They weren't doing a whole lot here, though. And they put his hand down. Wild in air. Again, no movement here on 2. Camera 3 does a good job of picking up Sister McKee here. I like getting a shot of the praise team during this. Headspace. Yeah. Okay, I remember that call specifically. I remember he got on Joey and I said, Joey's not even playing anything right now and guitar is more prominent. Can you get on the guitar? And that's the reason I called for guitar instead of for piano. And I actually don't hate that, like how he was zoomed into Anthony and zoomed out to both of them. I like that. Although we did stay on this a little bit too long. Quite a long time, actually. Wow. Okay. We should switch off by now for sure. Something. Anything? Okay, there we go. It's not a bad crowd shot. I'm just not a fan of it, I guess. Good shot on 4. Camera 2 needs to start giving us some movement here. Yep. Headspace here. Good switch to 4. Need to check that headspace as we're zooming back in. Now, obviously, this part wasn't planned because we have these words here. I can obviously tell they're not quite formatted in the formatting that we do. Luckily, the lower thirds automatically formats itself, so we're not in problem areas there. But here we see it's very inconsistent on this back screen. So I'd prefer if we didn't show that. I like this switch. And so I'm going to take that as the end of the song because really I don't think we go back into this song. So I think that's the end of this multi-view review. I know I'm really picky about some of this stuff, and some of it may seem like a lot of very, very small stuff, but it's the small stuff that makes this stuff look a lot better whenever you're watching online. As an online viewer, you know, you don't get to be in the room, you don't get to feel the presence, so it's up to our job as camera operators, as directors, as switchers, to establish the room for those watching online. And so that's what we try to do. If it's a really fast-paced song, we try to keep wide shots. We try to cut. If it's a slow-paced song, if it's something slow like what she's doing here, we want to get tighter shots in, which the cameras are doing pretty well. We want to auto, which I believe we're still cutting. So that's something I could do a better job of as a director. So I've learned a little bit here that I need to improve on. Hopefully you guys did too, as camera operators, as directors, as switchers. So there are a lot of things, a lot of different areas I myself can improve on. That's why I watch these, you know, is we watch these so we know what we need to improve on, what we need to work on. So I appreciate you guys taking your time to watch this. This has been, what, 22 minutes right now, 23 minutes. So I appreciate you guys watching this. Hopefully I'll see you guys on Wednesday, and then again Sunday. We don't record the Wednesday multi-view, but Sunday we will definitely be recording the multi-view again, so we'll have another one of these out, preferably the Monday, possibly Tuesday next week. I appreciate you guys watching this. See ya.